Hey guys, if I sat here and said to you that a shooting took place at a methadone clinic, would your first thought be anything other than duh? I mean, yeah, things like that happen in places like that. Welcome to Buffalo, New York, home of the famous chicken wing. And oh, I miss chicken wings. I need some right now. Also, the home to a whole mess of crazy, at least in the story I'm about to talk to you about. A security guard by the name of Reynaldo Beckford is the hero of the scene, having stopped 48-year-old Jeremy Griffin from shooting the place up with an AR-15. Hispanics United, which is a hell of a name for your methadone clinic, is nevertheless the scene of our crime. And it would have been the scene of multiple murders had Beckford not stepped in. He says, "My back was turned to the door, and when I turned, I saw the person and the rifle in the corner of my eye. At that moment, I couldn't believe what was happening, especially when he let off the first shot, and that's when I knew that something was definitely wrong." Now, as Griffin pulled off a shot, Beckford stepped forward and grabbed the gun. He said, "When I had him and the rifle, I started saying, 'Jesus, Jesus, Jesus,' and that's when he turned back. He stopped fighting for a while, and that's when the other security guards started coming down the stairs. I'd be lying if I say to you I wasn't scared for my life, and the first thing that flashed over my brain was my baby, who just turned 3 years old." Wow. After the other security guard and the janitor piled on, they were able to get the gun away from Griffin and hold him until police arrived. And Griffin is now up for attempted murder, as he, of course, should be. It's also worth noting that, according to the story, Griffin had shot a woman in the leg before even coming into the methadone clinic. Now, the details beyond that are shaky, bordering on non-existent, but I suspect we can infer as intelligent people that the acquisition of drugs might have played a role. And let's focus for a minute on a job well done. More importantly, and I promise this is an important distinction, a job done. In our heated fervor in this country to jump out into the wake of any shooting event and immediately attack the freedom of Americans to keep and bear arms, we frequently do not take into account the way that things are supposed to work. I've said it on this program plenty of times. You are the first responder to any event that happens when you're nearby, and that goes double if it's actually your job to be on hand for things like that. What we see in this story is the case of a man doing his job. Should he be applauded for his bravery? Absolutely. And I'm glad there are heroes out there willing and able to stand in the gap between madmen and society when and wherever necessary. But also, this is a job that got done, albeit done well. And in a way, it's the same job that you and I have. We have an obligation, not just a right, to protect our families from those who would seek to do them harm. That's not always an easy call to answer, but it's part of the implied social contract you have with your country and your fellow countrymen. It's the reason that the idea of mandating gun ownership isn't necessarily something to just be dismissed out of hand. And God, listen, would it piss the liberals off if they had to own guns? Yeah, it's a question to think about. Love y'all. God bless.